So I don't need to revitalize nothing. Everybody know who I am.
For the second straight week, the Panthers scored a season high in points. Last week, blowout over LA Unified. Today, y'all beat the Icon All-Stars 89-79, and 31 points for Daryl Arnold. That's one of the best shooting games that I've seen you had, especially in the first half of the game. Did you just feel like you had something going differently this week?
Yeah, I've been working very hard on my jump shot, expanding my game, and just working on it. So I just had to believe in it. So I just took it, and I was just in the zone. So I'm just thankful that I can work on it.
I mean, you had 23 points in the first half, and 4 out of 6 three-pointers. So we knew that something you had been working on that shot, 500 jumpers a week or something like that. The Icon All-Stars actually came back. They had gotten blown out last week. They showed some fight here. How did y'all maintain just enough to close it out?
Basketball is a game of runs and momentum, so you just got to slow it down and get to your spots on your floor and knock down shots, play consistent defense, and just wear and tear on the other team. You just got to get your game plan and go with it, and our game plan is defense, so we try to go out there and play good defense, rebound the ball, and try to run the transition.
So back-to-back wins now. Pop ain't here. And a lot of y'all like to comment on how when Pop isn't here, the team changes how they play. So, Pop's going to come back. How can y'all keep it going when he comes back here?
We just got to have the same confidence and just hopefully he'll let us play like we've been playing, not being so demanding of us. So that's all. We just got to have the same confidence that we had. So that's all.
The Sky Ryse, 4 wins in their last 5 games. Justin Johnson, player of the game once again. A season low, 15 points. It still led the team. 11 points came in the second half. And you guys found a way to get out of this one with a win over No Snacks. They were coming in pretty well. We watched No Snacks win last week. How did you get ready for this game?
Just being aggressive on defense and trying to get multiple stops in a row. We kind of went back and forth. We was trading baskets. They got a couple of and ones. We got a couple of and ones, but we just stuck with it. We found guys on our team down in the post. They was able to finish for us really good, and we just had to make free throws at the end.
Speaking of free throws, y'all lived at the line, man. I mean, you made 4 out of 4. James Ennis made 10 out of 12. Tehran, 6 out of 10. Dom Lanier, 6 out of 6. As a team, y'all made 33 free throws. They made only 14. Just that ability to get to the line is big, but what did the coaching staff say about just being aggressive and continuing to get there?
Well, we got a lot of good scorers, and we got a lot of good attackers, so we got to use that to our advantage and get to the line as much as possible because it stops the game for us. And we're able to set up our defense real good after we knock down some free throws.
Now, again, you came in here averaging more than 30 points over the last 4 games. Even though this was a season low, you've always spoken about how you're not going to force things too much and that there's a lot of talent on this team. Do you feel like this kind of game, scoring 89 points as a team with 5 guys in double figures, shows the strength and depth of the roster?
Yeah, definitely. We got a lot of talent on our team. We got a lot of scores, so we just got to use that to our advantage. Might not always have a high night, but as long as we get the win and we play together, everybody's involved. That's the main thing.
DeAnthony Melton of Scrapes and Gravel gets the team back in the win column. First win since week 1, game high 25 points. And the first thing that we notice is when you got all kinds of space, you can knock down that three-pointer. Doesn't even matter. So was that a point of emphasis of Scrapes and Gravel coming into this one?
I think it really was just make sure we take good shots because recent weeks we was kind of taking quick shots. So as long as you take open shots, a lot of people can make open shots. So we just wanted to keep taking that, and we were struggling on defense, so we really picked it up this week. And you saw we got a win.
The thing with the defense is, Jaguars only scored 11 points in the first quarter. They were much better in the second half. But the fact is, you guys have made a living of being close but not finishing.
Yeah.
How did you guys, even though the defense was better in the first half, how did you guys have enough to finish this game?
I think it really was we finally got tired of losing. We gave away a lot of close games to a lot of good teams. So we play better than our record is, but we just need to keep pulling away and then don't take our foot off the glass, off the brakes. So we just got to keep going, keep pushing.
Chris Young, he said, y'all winning this week and y'all gonna win out and y'all gonna get a playoff spot.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So after a win like this, obviously we can say, yeah, this is the start. What does he need to do to make sure that y'all see that through?
Just make sure we keep taking good shots, and we got, especially on defensive end, we gotta stop players, because that's where we really struggle getting stops. Cause we can score, but we just gotta get stops.
Jeremy Hemsley of the Clozers, 32 points, canceling out the 46 points that Stanley Johnson dropped for ISO, and Clozers gets their third win of the season. Very impressive performance by the team, but I mean, between you and Benny, that's 60 points right there. How are you able to get to the basket so consistently?
I think it's just confidence and just knowing that that's my strength. I know that I'm a guy that can get past a lot of guys, so that's what I try to use to my advantage. And a lot of people try to play me as a driver, and if that's the case, then I'll just shoot it. But I know that's one of my strengths, and I try to use it to my advantage.
The end of the first half was very eventful for you. You go to the bucket, take body contact, flip it up, get that basket, get the and one, and then get a steal, and then a heave to end the half. Just explain that sequence for me. Like, it seemed like all kinds of talents in one right there.
I mean, after playing at San Diego State, they teach not to give up on a play. So when I seen them inbounding the ball to Stanley, I knew Stanley wasn't expecting anybody to try and steal it from him. So I went for the ball, and I had enough time to get the shot up, and luckily it went in.
Now, the thing with this Clozers team is they've played a lot of close games. This being their third win means they're still in the hunt for the playoff spot. So with additions like you, with Devin Watson, to go along with Chmeeze Matu's athleticism over the top, with Benny's versatile offensive game, how does this team get some consistency and get themselves into the playoffs?
I'd say just staying with it. We can't let up whenever we get high leads. So we just got to stay with it. Just keep playing the defense that we're playing, and we can't let teams back in the game once we get a lead.
Larry Anderson of the Citi Team Blazers with 32 points, 5 rebounds in this game. And most importantly, the only reason y'all have 2 losses is because y'all weren't able to make free throws down the stretch. You guys made your free throws, eliminated a lot of potential drama, and gave Hank Houdini's All-Stars their first loss of the season. So when you stepped up to the line, what was going through your mind?
Don't miss the free throw. I was pretty confident. I was in a good flow, and I think I only missed 1 free throw because I short-armed it. So I was just pretty confident to go to the line.
This was obviously, the hype could speak for itself for this game. So when it comes to a team like you guys, I mean, you played what could be considered a hype game last week, and that was a close loss in overtime. So how does this team get ready for games like this?
They're undefeated. We know most of them dudes over there. Me and Bigelow are very close, so it's a little bickering before. But it's a good crowd. We got the primetime game, so we're just trying to show the fans and show everybody that we're a team to compete for the championship.
If you were going to put a point of emphasis, obviously this game just ended, but if you're going to say this is why we gave Houdini's All-Stars, a team that is capable of stressing teams out, especially in the second half, y'all gave them the first loss. Why?
We got veteran guards. We got a lot of dudes. We got a good big man. Malcolm finally came back to play. We rided him for probably about a good 2 quarters, and they couldn't really handle him down there. So that's why we kept feeding him. And we've been here, like you said. Like, we lost the other 2 games of free throws, so we knew we was here. So I think as long as we made our free throws, I think we was gonna take care of business.
This was not, Frank just happened to be the top scorer. I mean, you did 31 points, but it was more than scoring to get this overtime win and come back from down 11 in the fourth quarter. So first thing I got to ask you is, how the heck did y'all pull out of this one?
Defense, man. We wasn't playing no defense. We was kind of pressing too much. So I just told them, let's play it back, play man, see if they can beat us man up. I started off with a couple steals. A couple people got a couple deflections. That's all you need, to interrupt the offense for a little bit. After that, we start going our way and start playing at our speed, our pace. I had that one dunk that sparked us. Oh. And then I think like a play or two after, Branch had one over the top of their best defender. And after that, it was ugly, man. We just kind of took off from there.
The dunks were the thing that got the crowd really into it. I mean, this was a crowd coming off of really a great game before. So there was already a buzzing atmosphere. But the other thing that added to the action on court was you and Trayvon going back and forth. I mean, he played well. He's had a big role in Noah Stars winning games. But it seemed like after y'all started going back and forth with each other, that really energized you. How would you characterize that interaction?
If anybody know me, they know don't talk shit to me. I'm the only person that just play, man. If you start talking to me, you're going to wake me up and then you're going to get, a crazy outcome because I'm going to go at you full speed, 100%, offense, defense. I'm going to give you everything I got, no matter how mad I am. So if you're going to go at me, you better know I'm coming right back at you.
There's one play in this game in overtime where I feel like this game wasn't over until they brought it up. About 3 guys touched the ball, and it was under 30 seconds. No one seemed to realize they were down 3 and they needed to get a shot off. And at the end of the session, you dive towards the sideline and basically force a turnover. What were you seeing on that possession? Did you kind of sense that they were kind of lost and didn't understand the situation?
Yeah, and then to top it off, we wasn't really getting a lot of 50-50 balls, so I had to make sure that if I saw one drop, I was just going to go for it, give it all. If I, fall out trying to get the ball, I was going to fall out. But that 50-50 ball was big, and I got that, kind of scrambled things up, and it got us to win.
Victor Rudd, back from, let's just call it summer vacation, returns to the roster of problems, and you guys get a big win over Reapers. Big for y'all just because the team's lost 2 out of the last 3. And you finished with 32 points, 8 rebounds. But everybody's going to talk about the end of the game where you caught back and you've been missing a lot of dunks and you've been getting fouled. You've had some blocked. This one, oh, man, you finished that one.
I needed that one. The past month or 2, I've been trying to dunk on somebody either been getting fouled or missing. So I needed that one. That was a good one right there.
Then you just throw the free throw away?
Yeah, I didn't even want it. The game was over anyway. The game was over before the dunk, but I didn't want no more points after that. It was over.
So here's the thing. You guys have another game tomorrow. Okay, so this is the front end of a back-to-back for you guys. The teams had some inconsistency on both ends of the floor. Even in this game, things are inconsistent. When you guys going to play like a team that was in the championship game last year?
Man, I think when we get our guys, we demand more discipline when we got all our guys together. When it's just a few, guys just go out there and take possessions off. I do myself. So I don't know what type of game you're going to see from me tomorrow. This will be my 5th or 6th game in a row this week. So, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to try to come in here and get a win.
And finally, how were you feeling as this game went along? Because, again, the Reapers did have a good run early, and then that third quarter, the team outscored them by 20 points.
Yeah, they're a good defensive team. They all small. They got good hands. So I just tried to get a guy one-on-one and just take him to the basket, or I made a couple shots off of some pull-ups, and that's about it. They're a smart team. They know how to play good defense, but we turned up our defense and ran, and that's how we got the win.
Leo Lyons comes back after, let's just call it a 2-game absence, because y'all had 2 Breakfast Club games in a row, and y'all had a 2-game losing streak. Come back, 7-15 start, get a blowout win. 23 points for you and for Day. So how are you feeling after this one?
I'm feeling good. It's unfortunate that, the Drew League is during a lot of times when guys got to do stuff for their jobs to go back overseas. So, that's the biggest key to building a good team is when people are absent. You got to be able to win those games, and we lost those 2, unfortunately, but it's good that we came back and got this one.
Now, the thing with every time you're on the court, it seems like you're a calming presence. And, man, those leads that Spirit gets are huge. It's almost to the point where things get a little bit too comfortable in the second half of the game.
We've done that like 4 or 5 times already where we got a lead and we kind of just got a little calm. That just comes with having a lot of young guys. We got a lot of guys fresh out of high school. And I'm just trying to be the leader, keep us all under control. And if we stay under control, I think we can beat anybody.
Speaking of beating anybody, you guys have had a pretty soft schedule, and the flip side to that is, for the most part, you've done your job. You've won the games that have been in front of you, and compared to last year when y'all missed the playoffs by a game, y'all are in a position, barring an epic collapse, to be in the playoffs. Yeah. So, with that said, you don't know who you're going to play the rest of the regular season. What does the Spirit team need to do to make sure they're ready for higher competition?
One, we got to show up. Like I said, it's a tough time during this time period right now because everybody's trying to get jobs and got things going on with school. So I feel like if we're here full strength, we can win. That's basically it.
Shannin Sharpe, a week after the biggest dunk of the year, of the summer, you come a rebound shy of a 28-point triple-double. 14 assists, that's the most assists we've seen in the Drew League this season. And most importantly, a 95-87 win over an LA Loop team that got 46 from Pat Rumbert. The first thing that we got to ask about is, how was your week after the big dunk?
I had a fun week. I mean, I got a lot of attention on social media. That was cool. But pretty much just a fun week. Nothing too spectacular.
Now, obviously, y'all team didn't have a player of the game because y'all were coming off of y'all first loss in 5 weeks. So y'all got a lot of help. Josh Gordon, Robbie Robinson. We know you played with Robbie before, but both of those guys came through and scored 20+. What was it like having those two? And I would figure those two guys were a big role in you getting 14 assists.
Oh, for sure. The guys made shots. They made the game easy. Robbie came in and rebounded. Josh came in and hit. I think he hit 3 threes out of 4 his first 3 or 4 minutes in the game. That was big for us. They allowed me to get in the paint, facilitate, and pick and choose my spots.
Now, you guys had control of this game early, 12-point lead in the first half. And then after halftime, LA Luke came through and took over the game a little bit. How did you guys maintain your poise and, even with Pat going off, find a way to win the game?
Man, we just stuck to the game plan, man. Just play hard, man. We had to do a better job of rebounding. They was killing us on the boards and getting easy buckets. So once we started rebounding and finally getting some stops, we was able to pull away with the lead and win the game.
Metta World Peace, captain of the Pandas. You guys were down 15 points after the first quarter and down double digits going into the fourth quarter. And so I don't know how you guys had the energy to get it back going. So let's just ask you right now, how did this game even get into overtime, let alone a win?
Whatever. It was a tough game, man. They play together, they could shoot. But we kept attacking. Sometimes you lose some, you win some, but all you could do is go out there and keep trying. And we pulled it out, we pulled it out. It was good.
And once this game got into overtime, you stopped shooting the threes to get the comeback going. You started being more aggressive once you realized, you Metta, you still stronger than a lot of these dudes, if not all of them. And you had one of the most powerful dunks that Drew has seen this season. It's been that kind of month. What did you see on that play, on that drive to the rack?
On that drive to the rack, I was just trying to make sure that, I finish. I feel good. I'm 37, but, I can still play. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to make sure I was aggressive and I did what I had to do.
Now, most of this season, you talked about developing the squad, developing young guys. You saw Brace get a nice stop at the end of regulation. And even the biggest play, the play that sealed it for y'all, was Kamen getting that offensive rebound. So even though this was a big load for you, 40 points on 34 shots, how do you feel about your load and your impact on the rest of the guys to get the team win?
I feel it was all of us. Brayson, we got young Mouth. He's a street ball player, but I want to develop him. We got Brandon, street ball player, but I'm to be developing him. I want to continue to develop our guys, so we can have in the years to come, have a lot of good players in the Drew League. But it was definitely, a team effort. We had guys that didn't play all season. They came today and they did what they had to do.
We only have 2 undefeated teams left in the Drew League. Redemption being the only team undefeated in their division. You guys have a lot more competition at the top than the other undefeated squad left in the Drew League. And you guys, once again, win again. You having a big role, once again, near triple-double. That's the first thing here is you talked last week about getting guys involved. This was a tough offensive game. Neither team scored 70. and that's kind of a different pace for you guys. So how did you manage the difference in the output here?
I mean, it's just making adjustments. Sometimes shots aren't falling at a good percentage or stuff like that. You know, you just got to know how to adjust and score accordingly, get stops. I think that's what it came down to. We got stops when we needed to. And just playing together, man, shots will fall eventually. You just got to keep pounding the rock.
One play in particular that I felt like was the epitome of this game. You were matched up on last year's MVP and ISO, Vince Camper, the body snatcher, and you ripped him. And you got on the break, and Chris was trailing, and you found a way to draw the foul, knock down the 2 free throws. Take me through that play.
I mean, no discredit to him. I mean, he's a good player. He's a good competitor, stuff like that. For me, it was just being at the right place, right time. He didn't get much rest, you know what I'm saying? So if I felt like the crossover was a little tired, then I just got up on him, and I just happened to get it. Anybody know whenever you get the rip like that, it's just about guessing right or just reading the offensive player. So no discredit to him. I mean, I got the steal, but ended up the free throws are more important. And then just coming down the next play, I think was the most important play after that. It's kind of how you respond, you know what I'm saying?
Now, Chris Eversley made some, I would say, game-saving plays. Keon was not happy about the fact that you guys had a big lead and let almost all of it go. And so how does Keon addressing the fact that, you know, you guys kind of play 2 different kind of games, the blowouts and the close ones?
I mean, Keon don't really sugarcoat things. I mean, we all know what's going on. We lost the lead, stuff like that. But it's about finding a way. Basketball's a game of runs. Nobody on the court was happy that we lost the lead, but you just got to find a way to win. We haven't really had our full team here yet for a single game, I don't think. Today we were missing Jonathan Gibson and Chuck Garcia. That's a pretty big part of our team. You know what I'm saying? So every game we've kind of had a new identity and tried to adjust accordingly. So losing the lead was a big part of this game, but just sticking it out was big time for us.
Jordan Hamilton, second straight game with Juglife, which means for the first time all season, Juglife has won back-to-back games. This one a lot bigger than last week. Over a COA team, stacked talent in the backcourt especially. Craig Smith comes back, and you guys get a win. We talked about it last week, man. You try and get this team on a roll. How you feel after this one?
Oh, it feels good. You know, we got guys who going to play defense, going to make shots. And we got a pretty deep team. So if we just come out every weekend, play hard, and just do what we're supposed to do, I think that we'll have a good chance of making a playoff.
Now, last week, it was the efficiency, 31 points on 13 shots. This week, it was the versatility with 23 points, near triple-double with 9 boards, 9 assists. So do you feel like you're expanding your game a little bit with this squad?
Absolutely. You know, that's my game. You know, I'm not only a scorer. I can pass, I can rebound. I try to play defense, just do all the things just to help the team win.
Can you take me through how this game wrapped up? I mean, it was a very fast-paced game in the first half. You guys started to get control in the third quarter, and even down the stretch with Brandon being aggressive, Jordan being aggressive. Satch hit big shots, Jordan Burris hit big shots, and the ball was in your hands down the stretch to close it out the free throw line.
Yeah, it's just about having a stacked team, man. And we go out, Sek made some big plays, like you said. You know, Jordan Burris got a couple and ones, and we played good defense on those guys. I don't know what they finished with, but we did a good job of closing it out.
How do you feel as far as like what was the moment that you knew y'all had COA?
Probably the last minute of the game. We controlled the tempo. We didn't let them get nothing easy, and they settled for jump shots, and we just got rebounds and didn't give them second chances.
Bobby Brown returns, LA Unified. The real champions were here after last week. I know y'all won Friday night, and I know you weren't here. What was your reaction when you heard this team only score 41 points?
I almost didn't talk to Big Red, Pooh, and Bottoms for a whole day, man. But, you know, that's a game. I mean, that's how it was played. We had 41 points, but that's why we knew we had to come out here and put on a performance like we did today, because we know what type of team we got. We know what type of, like, players we have, and, you know, that's how we just got to keep it every week, because we know teams going to be coming at us. We just got to hoop.
And you guys added James Harden. He was a player of the game. Dart said that James made all the difference. He didn't even have to coach. As you being a captain, how does having him affect your game?
He makes the game easier. I mean, because he know he got me and Pooh running with him. He know, like, we ready to play at all times, and he know we can make the open shot. So anytime you got, you know, all-star, big-time player on your team, you just got to play the game and play off him. He play off of us. We all know how to hoop, and it just makes it easier, and it's fun out there.
Now, you've been on so many teams in the Drew. you played against MHP in the championship game. Now, all those dudes are calling themselves problems now, but you saw the MHP patch. This was a championship game rematch as far as the players on the floor. You guys spanked them. This game was over after the first quarter. Those 41 points y'all scored all game last week, y'all had 38 in the first quarter. Like, was there something extra for these guys?
Definitely was. Once we seen the team they had, I mean, we was talking yesterday. We seen Nick. We went to his event. You know, we was talking trash yesterday. He told us who he was gonna have, and it started from yesterday. But it's good for LA. It's good for the fans to come out and watch. You know, and see the NBA players come out. Clarkson, JH, Nick. But for us to come out there and play like we did, man, it's LA Unified all day.
Are we gonna see this LA Unified team the rest of the year now?
Definitely, we all here. We're gonna be here next week. We're gonna be ready. We got another edition coming next week. Surprise. You'll see.
So 2 undefeated teams at the end of week 7 at the Drew League. Basketball for Life is 8-0. You guys pretty much have clinched a playoff spot. Y'all running away with the #1 seed in the division. But, man, were y'all challenging this one against the Reapers. You had 34 and 15, but y'all had to deal with Johnny D scoring 35 points, hitting 9 threes. Yeah. What was the challenge of guarding a player like him?
He's Stephen Curry out here. I feel like whenever he passes the half-court line, it's going up. It's going in most of the time, so you just got to play defense, pressure him, and hopefully he misses.
Now, y'all missing a lot of guys. Van didn't show up until mid-third quarter. The Ware brothers were away. Charles Jackson's still not here. You've been a mainstay, but you've seen Tim Mennigan, a.k.a. Detroit, being on the bench every game, and he actually looked like he had a big impact offensively. What was it like being on the floor with him in a meaningful situation?
I mean, it's a team game, you know. He's been on the bench for the whole season pretty much, and when it's time for him to shine, you saw he played defense. He stopped the one dude who had all the points. So, I mean, it's just a team game, and he was clutch for us.
You know, you remember last week we were talking about you taking on a bigger role on this team. As far as the usage is concerned, obviously 24 shots is a lot, and to put up 34 points is a big deal. So, again, we'll ask you, in a game where y'all actually needed every one of those points, how do you feel about being the man down the stretch?
I mean, this is what I work for. The whole week, I work hard for these moments like this, you know. I mean, we're missing a lot of players right now, so I got to put up more shots, you know. I practice it, so it was good in the game. 1-3
start for the Bulldogs. Now y'all 5-3, 4 straight wins, 5 out of the last 6 games. And for the second week in a row, you had a double-double, 17 points, 15 rebounds, and you knew you had a double-double at halftime. So how did the team feel about this game coming out?
Well, during this week, you know, yesterday we lost a close friend, you know, Mafia Ray. So, you know, we came out with emotional after that. We just came and kept fighting. You know, once I seen, you know, I had the mismatch, I just went and attacked, you know, and my teammates believed in me, and I just kept going.
Now, last week y'all played a game where a lot of people would have said, you know, y'all underdogs. This week, y'all had to felt like y'all were the favorites. I mean, y'all are going up against a team and one culture that has struggled most of the year. They were coming off of a win, but they only had 6 guys. So, do y'all feel like y'all the hunted more than the hunters at this point?
I mean, we still feel like we're the underdog. We come out and, you know, we have a lot to prove. I mean, we're on a winning streak, but, you know, as the Drew say, you know, it's just, you know, you just got to show up, you know, every week. You'll never know. I mean, this team came out. I mean, they played a lot of teams tough, just lost. So we never take a team. We never underestimate a team, you know. So that's the biggest thing with that.
Now, Speedy was one of the catalysts of the winning streak coming in. Y'all played without him before. But with him being hurt, how did that change the Bulldogs' approach offensively?
Well, I mean, we just kept going. I mean, Speedy is a key player for us, but Chris Johnson stepped up with her 17, came in aggressive. You know, Keith Schamberger came in. He made some key drives, been the guard and stuff like that. So we had players that come in. I mean, you know, we don't need him hurt, but, you know, we got away with this one.